Hello, everybody. It is February 11th, show number 41. Welcome to Frameloss. I don't even want to do the rest of the intro. I'm just happy that we're live and we're doing the show now. I can still hear.
No, don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it.
The sounds, but I'm okay. I am your host, 2 Inches. With me on the left is from CJ. Say hello.
What's up, everybody? My name is Leo Laporte. This is Call for Help. How can I help you today?
We failed so miserably, and you still had to.
Because he has to bring joy to our life.
But I helped.
He helped.
I helped Donnys call.
Evolve is out, and so we had to kick it out of the intro because it's out now. So that's why we have.
We only like games that haven't released.
Yeah, we only like games that are in the future. We're in the future.
Future games.
On the right side, the man with the mic issues tonight, Donnie.
Remind everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Hello, everybody. I apologize for my failures as a human.
It's okay. We'll deal with it later.
we'll apology semi-accepted.
Yeah.
You're on thin ice, buddy.
Tonight we have a review of Dying Island. Wait.
Dying Light.
That's wrong.
Dying
Light.
Dead
Island.
Sorry. No, Dead Island. We're reviewing Dead Island.
Dead Light?
Dead.
That's a TV show, isn't it?
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
We're
going to
Fallout
review
4.
a game. We also have some Bethesda news to discuss because they're making a statement. And Sony might be making a new game returning to next gen, so we'll have information on that. Now, the question plaguing everyone's minds is what have you guys been playing since the last show from CJ?
I went pretty ham on Madden. Strangely enough, for whatever reason, I was like, man, I really want to get back into that franchise I was running. So I won the Super Bowl. That's great news. I'm the best. It was on a gorgeous 89-yard touchdown reception by Julio Jones.
Nice.
His name's Julio Jones. Sorry, I misspoke. I don't want anyone to get mad at me. Julio Jones. Also, been playing League, been playing Heroes. I think the Diablo 3 season is either about to start or has started.
I think you're right.
So I want to get some of that under my belt also. There's not a lot of room, but once I kick one of these other loser games out, I can slide in Diablo, which is another game that has no end, so I'll be stuck playing that forever.
Yep.
But I think that is it. Double check in. Yep, that's it. Donnie, what have you been playing?
I've been continuing trying to play some more Pokemon Alpha Ruby? Omega Ruby.
Oh.
I forget which is which. Yeah, no, it's Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, my bad. But yeah, playing more Pokemon and getting that. And I finally cashed in the Xbox points I got for Christmas. And
we need like a ching, like ching, ching sound.
And I finally got Dark Souls onto a console, so I don't have to play it on my crappy PC. And I've been playing Dark Souls again, and I'm happy.
How's it looking non-800 by 600 res?
Oh, it's great. Like, there's no lag.
Well, what's wrong with 800 by 600? Everything's so big, you can see everything.
It takes a special kind of person, to play 800 by 600, and it makes every other game beautiful.
This makes your mic issues make sense now.
No, that's a different computer. Different computer. Okay. But yeah, having fun with that. It's a lot easier after playing it before on 800 by 600. And also, I think I've played some League since last episode, but I don't really remember.
If you don't remember, then you didn't play enough League.
Yeah, I probably. But yeah, that's about it. What have you been playing, 2 Inches?
Oh shit! I forgot. Sorry, I forgot a game that I played. I knew I forgot something.
Oh well, please share it.
Sunless Sea.
Oh yeah, you have been playing that.
Also Grey Goo.
Yeah.
Both of those. Grey Goo is really hard.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I already did my part, so I don't want to take too much time talking. But I did. I just wanted to make sure I was completely honest and got everything out. So yeah, Grey Goo and Sunless Sea also.
Yeah.
I've been playing. What have I been playing? I played actually a bunch of Metal Gear Ground Zeroes. I just got a wild hair in my ass, and I was like, I just want to play Metal Gear.
It's a weird.
Metal Gear?
Yeah, Metal Gear.
I'm
getting really excited for Phantom Pain, and I really just wanted to just be in that world some more. I've also
getting
been
a Phantom Pain for it.
I've also been playing Dying Light, which we'll find out how I felt about Dying Light later. But I did beat that finally on Sunday. No, I beat it Monday. And then on top of that, really nothing. I played a lot of Dying Light because I wanted to get it done for.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
And that's another game to mark off your list that you actually beat.
Yeah. Yeah, I added it to the list. I really got to add it to the site of games.
The site of games.
But yeah, like pretty laid back.
The game site.
Pretty laid back week for me. I did get Evolve, so I played Evolve last night. I plan on playing Evolve a lot tomorrow and this weekend. Probably play Evolve all weekend.
Nice.
Evolve weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, Donnie, like, I don't want to bring it up more, but it literally is every time you're not talking, like, it slowly starts building.
Yeah,
Donnie,
I did my best.
on your computer, right-click on the volume icon in the lower left part of the taskbar.
Recording devices?
Yeah, go to recording devices.
Yep.
Oh, there's some QA here.
Right-click on the one that's active and do properties. First of all, is only one active? That's important.
Yes.
Okay.
One is active.
Go to properties.
Yep.
Go to levels. Yeah, is that all the way down or?
It's at 83.
83. So go ahead and drop that down a bit.
How's this?
You're quieter, but I don't hear any sounds. Kyle?
I don't hear any feedback when he wasn't talking.
Is this good?
Turn it up like a pinch. Give it like 5 more decibels.
Okay, how about this?
Now I hear that.
Okay, so yep, back down to go back down 2.
This?
Yeah, keep it there for now.
Perfect.
We'll see how that goes.
Yep.
Cool. Whatever, man.
Whatever, man.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been playing.
What about Hyrule Warriors? Are you playing a bunch of that?
No. I
saw you playing it.
I did get Wonderful 101, so I'm going to be playing that too because I'm really excited for that.
I gotta steal that from you.
Yeah, I will. I
download. I'm trying to remember if I downloaded that. That was on the Nintendo Store as a reward.
Was it?
Yeah, it's one of the ones they added.
Oh,
cool.
In that, but I don't know if I got it or not. I don't remember.
Okay.
I got something, but I don't remember what.
Yeah.
Club Nintendo.
Take us into the releases of the week with our fixed overlays.
We finally have some.
Yeah.
And by have some, I mean fancy ass overlays.
Yeah.
Ka-chow, ka-chow. So the big release this week, obviously, is Evolve. That came out on the PC, the PS4, the Xbone. No last gen release.
Nope.
Also, new Nintendo 3DS is dropping.
Friday.
That Friday, yep.
There is a midnight release for that in most places, I believe.
It's the new Nintendo DS and the new Nintendo DS XL, right?
Yeah.
So both of those. Also, with that.
Oh wait, I don't know if the XL is the same day. I could be wrong.
I thought it was, but I could also be wrong. But
yeah.
Also, in addition to that, we have Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3DS, which is going to be too fresh.
The freshest.
And Monster Hunter 4, which is going to be less fresh. But I don't have anything against Monster Hunter.
I've been hearing nothing but good stuff about it from different
I've been
sites.
hearing really good stuff about it.
Monster
How do you
Hunter?
get monsters in this one, though?
What do you mean? Well, it's new monsters.
Yeah.
Right,
so Monster Hunter... Was it Monster Hunter or Monster Rancher?
Monster Rancher is the one with the discs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monster Hunter is the one where you hunt monsters.
Oh, Kurt...
yeah, I was going to ask that, but I couldn't remember.
It's just the XL that's coming out.
Yeah, the regular one they haven't announced yet.
Yeah, I knew it was something weird like that.
And I remember that because Carbo himself brought up the complaint that they didn't announce a release for it yet, and that's the one that has like customizable faceplates.
Also doesn't have a charger, so buy your charger separate, folks.
Or use your old one.
Use the one that you have already. Is
also if you have the old one.
Yeah.
If you're buying a 3DS for the first time, then you don't have a charger.
Well, if you're buying a 3DS for the first time, then the good news is that they took the price of the charger out of the price of the 3DS, so they were considerate in your purchasing future
experience. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
Pretty good week.
Yeah. Much better than the past month, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that. So let's jump right into some big old news of the week. Last week we told you guys about Sony Online Entertainment being sold, changing their name to Daybreak Studios. We discussed what we thought they were going to do, how well we thought they would manage themselves, et cetera, et cetera. And lo and behold, this week, Daybreak Studios has now begun layoffs.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's unfortunate. The game studio behind EverQuest and H1Z1 is laying off a number of staff, including David Georgeson, the man who served as the face of EverQuest for many years. From an anonymous source inside of the team, most of management keeps trying to get people pumped up about the new direction, but no one knows for sure they'll be a part of it yet. Not great news.
So I feel like this was 100% to be expected. Like when a merge like that happens, like it's expected that they trim some fat.
Yep.
Not this soon though.
Yeah, not a week later.
Yeah. They're getting the fat trimming out of the way as soon as possible. Maybe to do it quickly so they can start focusing on games.
Well, what I heard was these people will be allowed to get their jobs back. They just have to apply through the Daybreak Studios online store where they can purchase an application for 99 cents.
Daybreak points?
Yep. Yep. Each round of interviews costs 50 Daybreak points.
I think it's soon. I think that doesn't speak well for H1Z1 or EverQuest games coming out.
What a scam H1Z1 was.
It wasn't a scam until the sale.
Excellent scam.
To speak to Biohazard.
Okay.
Yeah, Biohazard saying that pretty sure this beginning and the end. I'm still out. It's very possible. I do have to agree with the whole it is customary to trim the fat after this thing kind of look at the mistakes the past company made, trim the fat and then point it in a new direction, but it is really quick. So, and with a new product that just came out, trimming the fat this soon.
My question about trimming the fat is that we have an EverQuest game on the way. Like they have a new direction that they're working towards.
Yeah.
So it seems unusual to. I mean, it's a weird time for a sale, but in addition to that, it's a weird time for a lot of other stuff also.
Wait until the news from you buying the company is far enough down certain pages.
Yeah, exactly.
For them to also post and they're firing people.
Make sure the people have to at least go back a couple to link in the article.
Yeah.
That just sounds like a stereotypical movie hostile takeover. Evil corporation comes in, buys all the good.
I'm pretty sure this is the plot of Good Burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Daybreak the movie.
Yeah. So in other really good news, BioWare
in other really good news?
Yeah. BioWare has halted the development of Shadow Realms. Shadow Realms, if you remember, was the 4v1 game that BioWare was working on.
Yeah. You mean Evolve?
Nope. I didn't really see a lot on this game, so I don't know.
I have actually heard of this game.
It's kind of new to me.
It was announced a while ago, but Jeff Hickman a couple days ago said, "Today I'm sharing some important news about Shadow Realms in our BioWare Austin studio."
Then he made armpit fart noises for 10 minutes.
We've made the decision not to move forward with development of Shadow Realms. These include additional ongoing enhancements to the award-winning Dragon Age Inquisition, as well with the game Mass Effect series and a new IP. So they've already teased the new IP, but we still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But the biggest focus for Team BioWare...
So, hold on, I have a question about...
Okay, you have a question?
You
didn't raise your hand, so I wasn't sure.
That quote doesn't make sense. We've made the decision to not move forward with the development of Shadow Realms. These include additional ongoing enhancements.
They stopped development on Shadow Realms to include more work on
these other things.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. The weird quote.
Yep. The biggest focus for the team is Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
As every fan.
God damn it.
I mean, so I read that the biggest focus is Star Wars: The Old Republic, and my first thought is why. I feel like that game is basically dead.
Well, I still know a few people who play it, but
okay,
and I think they still do
50% of their user base. That game from launch was destined to just die really quick. It had, as an MMO, it had zero fun components in it. As a single player title, it was really good. But once you hit that last story mission for your character, at endgame, you were like, I'm done. There's nothing else for me in this world.
And it was...
PvP was pretty atrocious, unless you loved playing Hotball, which was what you were forced to play over and over again forever. They screwed up the crafting system by a lot. Pretty much anything you crafted was not as good as stuff you could just buy.
It's kind of BioWare's first attempt at a multiplayer game, really.
I get that, but that still doesn't make it... You still can't
it's not like there aren't a bunch out there.
Yeah, you still can't be like, well, good job, BioWare.
Yeah, you tried. Can they get the You Tried award?
No, we don't give those out. As Kyle is well aware, we don't grade on a curve here at Frameloss.
But the good news is, for all the people that registered for the Shadow Realms closed alpha, we are working on a way to say thank you for signing up to all those players that gave us feedback at Gamescom and at PAX. So there is that.
Okay, that's cool.
So what's it going to be?
They didn't say yet.
It's a mystery.
That's news to come.
A new ending for Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
We know you've been asking for it.
Talking about a new BioWare IP, just want to throw out, I saw like something online where someone said this would be a great idea for a BioWare game, and it would be a BioWare Avatar game based on Avatar, like The Last Airbender, where it's you play as the new budding Avatar, and you have to make choices and everything. And I want that.
Well, they kind of already did that game with Jade Empire.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Avatar, the video game.
No, that is also a game.
Yeah, but
Jade Empire
one with like
good,
the BioWare level of choices and everything, because BioWare always has the your good actions or your bad and all that kind of thing. Add those systems to it; it would be really interesting.
Yeah, I that would not be a new IP, but I would like to see that.
Yeah. So just want to throw my support for that, and if BioWare is watching, please.
We do have a few contacts at BioWare, so I hope they're listening.
Yeah,
please.
So no more Shadow Realms.
Yeah. Well,
that game no one heard of isn't coming out.
In better, more upbeat news, Bethesda is having their own conference at E3 this year. So they'll be
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4. They'll be hosting their first ever E3 showcase on June 14th, and they've saved seats for the fans, and they basically in the next coming months are going to be sharing details on how fans can register to attend this conference, so you don't just have to be press or in the industry. They're going to try to make it easier for fans to come see them, which I think is cool because it sounds fun. And then if you can't join them, they'll be on twitch.tv/Bethesda, and you can tune in and watch it live on June 14th.
See, if you're going to stream it like that, then, man, I really don't like events that are like combo press and fan, because fans don't care about... Fans are going to go nuts for anything.
Yeah.
It is basically...
Well, that's just...
It's basically honeypotting the audience, and I don't like it.
I mean, that's a lot of the E3... outside of the major pressers.
But I also like it. I see your point and stuff, but I like it because a lot of fans would die for this chance, and it's really hard for them. So they're making it easier for like a fan to get that experience.
But they're streaming it, so you're not really getting anything.
Yeah, but if they're at E3, like you want to be able to go to the event.
Yeah,
I guess
live and in person. It's a whole different experience.
If I was at E3 and Konami had a press conference, like I would 100% doing everything I could to get into that.
It's like saying, oh yeah, you can watch this concert live, or you can be at the concert. It's it's still a different atmosphere and experience.
You can just buy the CD, CJ. Like it's the same thing.
I mean, yeah.
So
no, I could watch the concert live on Twitch.
So I have a lot of thoughts on the Bethesda E3 conference. Not because I just hate Bethesda, but I mean, there's that. Bethesda. I feel like this 100% can't be anything but Fallout 4. Like, I feel like I don't feel like they have enough titles and enough big titles to really, like, warrant a full press conference at E3.
Well, they have the one title.
Well, we were going over this last night, me
Fallout
and my girlfriend,
4, the Elder
with, like, what they could be showing. And we came up with, like, 5 titles that they possibly could show, and that like fills an hour. But I think the major focus is going to be Fallout 4. I think they're also going to show the new Doom.
Cool.
They're going to show Dishonored 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
They have been talking about working on that, and I have no idea why, but that game did really well.
Yeah.
So that game is coming. So they'll probably show something on that. Elder Scrolls Online, they need to do some damage control on that. And the press conference is around the time the game comes out on console, so they might announce like an expansion set or something for fans who have stuck around with the game for as long as it has, and how bad it's been doing. They definitely need to do damage control, so they're gonna talk about Elder Scrolls Online, especially coming to console.
Man, they just shouldn't mention it at all.
I mean, they have to. They really have to. And they need to reward people who have been playing it, I feel.
Yeah.
Making it free to play was kind of like we got some of your money, I guess.
Thanks.
I'm trying to remember what the fifth one was. But what do you guys feel like those titles are pretty spot on?
That seems solid. I kind of forgot they made Dishonored, and I like Dishonored. I just forgot who made it.
The last one was, there were hints at a possible new IP from them. I don't know directly made by Bethesda, because I think they're focused on Fallout. But they do have a couple studios under their belt, so we might get something that we just don't know about from them.
That'd be cool.
Besides Fallout, like we know about Fallout, but we don't know about Fallout.
Fallout 4, the Elder Scrolls.
I think, first of all, I forgot they made any games other than Elder Scrolls and Fallout. Yeah, totally forgot they made other stuff.
They don't. They own id. They're part of the same people that own id, so they get all those titles.
Yeah.
Doom, Wolfenstein.
Dude, new Commander Keen.
Oh my god, I would lose my mind. I would go nuts
I think
for
that's
a new
epic.
Commander Keen.
That's epic. My bad.
Damn it, Donnie. Son of a bitch.
It was part of it at one point.
All right, well,
but yeah.
Donnie let me down. And other stuff that has let me down is the Resident Evil remake we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Why did that let you down?
I did not. I just did not like it.
Did you buy it?
I played it. I did not purchase it. I played it. I didn't pirate it or anything, but I played it.
Now I'm interested to know how it let you down.
I talked about it on the show. Here's Jabron. I talked about it. We had a conversation. Had a whole talk. Anyway, the fact that it let me down, though, sentiment not shared by the rest of the gaming community. The high-definition remaster of Resident Evil has become the fastest-selling digital title in Capcom's history across North America and Europe. It also broke the record for the biggest-selling day-one digital title on the PlayStation Network.
Dang.
So the question poses, was the $19.99 price point, or rather, could they have, if they made it $19.99, which it was $29.99, right?
No, it was $19.99.
Oh, it was? Okay, I thought it was $29.99. So is the $19.99 price point exactly where digital games need to be?
I wouldn't say digital. I would say for a remake like this.
For a digital remake?
Because this wasn't.
Huh.
This was. So the main thing they did with this is the 3D backgrounds. They really did a lot of work on the environment in this remaster. The character models, all that stuff, that was pretty much the same from the GameCube version. But all the backgrounds and textures, those were redone for this remaster. At $20, I felt like it was the perfect price because the GameCube one's hard to find. I would have to play it on the GameCube, and this is accessible.
That's 2 knocks right there.
Yeah, that's 2 knocks right there.
And a third thing.
I thought this was perfect.
I think $19.99 for a digital title, if it's not a full release, is.
See, but I don't know if it's full release is. It's a full game,
Yeah, but it's not a full release. They didn't. They remastered it. They didn't make a new game.
Right.
So a digital copy of a new game, I would be fine with $40, $50 for that.
So let's say because of the sales of this one, let's say they do 2.
Yeah.
And that comes out at $60. Where do you stand on that? Okay, but hold on. They haven't remastered 2 yet, so they have to do a full overhaul of this title. When the GameCube version came out, that was a full-priced game.
No remaster should be full-priced.
See, I don't know if I agree with
that. That's
my
stance.
I think it depends on how long it's been since the game, because it depends on how much you have to rehaul and how much like resources you have to put into. If it's a remaster of a game that came out like only a few years ago on the last gen, yeah, I agree, should not be full price.
No.
But if it's a rehaul of a game that like 10 years ago and you have to remaster pretty much and rehaul everything.
Oh, Donnie, we're getting close to
agreeing?
No, like 15 plus for RE2.
Yeah, it's pretty old. I'm not saying it's not old.
Yeah.
And that's why I said even $50. Like or not $50, sorry, $40 for some of these. I don't think any remaster game should really be that high, but I think arguments can be made.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of it's not a new game. Even if you remaster it, it's not a new game. It might be new to some people, but it's not new.
But it takes almost the same, I would say, amount of time as making a brand new game.
I mean, I don't think any three of us know that for sure because we've
right.
never.
No, that's why I said I was guessing.
It's still, again, like I was saying, depending on how long the time and how much they have to, like, tweak and everything.
Like
that game
would take a lot of work.
Right, but they don't have to do any of the writing. They don't have to do any of the plot stuff. They don't have to do anything other than the technical creation of the game.
I mean, you make it sound like I would think the writing and that stuff like that would be the easier part.
I don't know.
You could get arguments against that.
That's like saying the easy part of a movie is writing the script.
But yeah, I mean, if they have to like revamp everything and like do new engines for it and everything.
Yeah, it would 100% need to be a new engine.
Yeah, that's really hard to say. And again, like you said, none of us really know too well. But
when we say new engine, do we mean a new engine from the ground up or a new engine for that game, like an engine that game wasn't originally on? Because I would see them using the same engine they used for Resident Evil.
That is also up to them, actually. Yeah. So,
but I mean, when we say a new engine, are we talking a new engine for the game or a brand new engine? Period.
Well, and my answer is I don't really know. Like when I said engine, I didn't really have an answer, and it's like I'm not sure.
It's not up to them. It's up to us to decide what we consider a new engine.
Yeah.
I mean, I would if they used the same engine they did for the remaster that just came out.
Yeah.
I would.
So not a new engine.
Right.
So that development time is out the window.
But when I meant up to
developing
them,
a new engine.
Yeah. When I meant up to them, they could decide just to do a new engine anyway.
They could, for sure, but yeah. I can't imagine any company in the history of video games going, we're doing a remastered version of this game, let's make a brand new engine for it.
They did that when they made the original GameCube one.
Right. So what I was saying was that almost never happens. Almost never happens is the key there. But it's not
there's just a lot of variables in it.
It's just not cost effective to do it that way. So
no, I get that.
Yeah, I get that too.
I could see from the sales of this we getting a new another Resident Evil remaster.
Mm-hmm.
But any other one they do outside of 4 up would have to be a completely retooling, and it would definitely bump the price up. Like 4, I could see them doing 4 and charging $20 for it.
Yeah,
because it's the same engine as the GameCube one.
And they also remastered 4 for Wii, just a little. It wasn't a huge bump up, but
yeah, that was barely a remaster, though.
It was more tweaking of certain systems.
Yeah. That was adding motion support, basically.
Yeah.
I think, back to the original point of the $19.99 price point, I think that is almost a must-buy for a lot of people. Yeah. You see a new game come out $20, how can you not buy it, more or less?
Even if you remembered playing Resident Evil 1 on the GameCube,
don't.
it's still a hard no sell for $20 for that title, like in that beautiful glory.
I was literally I was just thinking to myself, maybe I'll buy it and play through the whole thing and see if it is as disappointing as it felt originally. And I was like, man, I'm never gonna play it, and I'm thinking about buying it. Yeah, that's how appealing a $20 video game is.
I agree.
I just really hope that from how good this one did, that they do others.
They definitely will. Yeah, there's no question about that.
Well, I mean, the problem with that though is the amount of work it would take to do 2 or 3 outside of 4. 4 I can see them doing, but I feel like 4 they ran into the ground.
I think they're gonna still try to.
Yeah. Having done this one, I don't think it's going to be that much work because they have most of the stuff done already.
Right, but this they didn't have to do any really work on. I shouldn't say any work on, but they had to do minimal compared to what they'll have to do for 2.
I don't agree with that. I think that
because this game already existed in a remaster. This is a remaster of a remaster.
Yeah, but that's not really how it works.
Yeah.
They don't just grab the GameCube one and go boop, scrub.
We have to put it into our upgrade machine.
Yeah.
I mean, the reasons for that are the reasons we still don't have a Metal Gear 1 upgrade, just because it never got.
We don't have a Metal Gear 1 upgrade because Hideo Kojima is a picky mother effer and just won't let anyone touch his shit.
You guys, we got a question from Rocker Wolf. It's more back on what we were talking about before, but he asks, you guys think Elder Scrolls Online will be saved with its console release imminent?
No.
No way. Absolutely not.
I think Bethesda has possibly the worst console support of any developer when it comes to patching and fixing things.
No, well, people don't want them fixed.
So I don't think it's going to be saved. I think it's going to launch with problems. They might do better than they have in the past, i.e. Fallout 3.
It might prolong its life.
Yeah.
It's going to revitalize the community a bit.
Not enough.
But it's not going to I don't think it's going to save the game.
The whole thing was just not. It was as far as I'm concerned, it was a failed experiment. They tried it, they messed it up.
Bethesda's console support is, I don't even want to say lacking. It's almost non-existent. And I don't see this going well. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but their track record for console patching and everything is not.
Real quick, Carbob Balloon says if they did the same thing to RE2, they'd spend most of their time on the asset creation. That's basically the point I was making. They would have to do very little technical work engine-wise because it's already all existing.
Oh, but that asset creation would take a while.
Yeah, it absolutely would. But that's stuff they would have to do for a game anyway.
Yeah.
So that is the point I was making about it not being a full release, is that a lot of it is done already and just waiting to have these things punched into it. Because everyone knows you make the art and then you go beep, boop, beep on the computer, it makes the game. Yeah, that's how making a game works. We all know. So
4 years, and I learned that.
Yeah. Beep, well, I went to school for 4 years to learn how to write an article. So it's you can go to school for anything, Donnie. No one faults you for it.
Beep, boop.
Really quick, back to what Rocker Wolf was saying though. I don't want to sound like just a complete Bethesda hater.
Well, you do because you're going back to it.
Well, because I want them.
You're gonna breeze through it anyway.
I want them to do good.
I'm not a racist, but
I want to give them the gold star. I want to give them the sticker with the grapes on it that you scratch and it smells like grapes since it's Grape Job. I want to stick it right to their game and be like, "You did it." But they don't. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, we established that.
Great job.
So just to recap, Bethesda, just terrible, just awful.
I try not to come off as just fuck Bethesda, but it's really hard for me because I really don't like their business model.
I think we have some news from
Don
about.
No, I have news.
No, I mean, you also have a review later.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to breeze through this one.
All right.
From Insomniac Games, in 2015, we have the rare and actually unprecedented opportunity to expand the Ratchet and Clank universe. So Ratchet and Clank pretty much was announced for the PS4. It says in 2015, so maybe we'll see more at E3. They didn't have any trailers or anything. They really have no news.
Thank goodness.
It's got a lot of the same team from Ratchet and Clank 1, so that's really cool. I don't know if I would say this is unprecedented. The Ratchet and Clank series does really well.
Yeah.
So
And
I don't know what about this is unprecedented.
I don't see Sony being like,
I guess the unprecedented part is getting to do it two separate, like two. They're doing the movie and they're doing a game.
Yeah.
It's the same. So
yeah, I mean maybe that's what they're talking about.
I think that's what they meant.
But I'm excited.
Which is it's unprecedented because they've only been a video game up until now.
I wasn't a huge.
It's unprecedented because we've never done it.
I wasn't a huge fan of the last Ratchet game, Into the Nexus.
Ratchet game.
I feel like that was kind of their weakest, but
I
look forward to it. The first one for the PS3 was phenomenal.
Yeah, I had. That was PS2.
No. I'm talking about the first one they put out. On the PS3.
It's Stitch in Time or whatever. Something about time. It was something
Link's
about
the Time Sweeper.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, Donnie got it. It was a Ratchet and Clank Future.
Tools of Destruction.
No,
that was the first one. Future Tools of Destruction.
Oh, okay. Crack in Time is the one I was thinking of, but you're right. Tools of Destruction was first. Yeah.
That one was really good. I loved that one. That one really showed a lot of the power of the PS3 with all what they did. With
that game ruled.
Everything, it was insane. So yeah, I'm excited for a new Ratchet.
I have the remaster of that, which was not a full price release, and there's multiple games, in fact, that I have to play on the PS3. I've been actually meaning to stream it, so
yeah,
that'll be fun.
I've never beaten those games either. Put that on the list of offensively. Oh, you know where actually? I know exactly where I am. I'm in the water level that I could never ever beat ever, and has stopped me 3 times from beating the game.
Okay, well let's blast through these last couple.
Yep. Other info about new upcoming games. Rise of the this month is Tomb Raider month on GameInformer.com. Basically, through this whole month in preparation for their March issue, which is a Tomb Raider cover issue, they've been just doing continual reveals for the next installment of Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider, which is Rise of the Tomb Raider. And out of all the reveals, I'm sorry if I missed anything like that they talked about. I pretty much created a list of all this really cool stuff that came out through their reveals. And first is this game is where it's going to take place. It's going to be taking place in the wilderness of Russia in searching of the secret of immortality in this lost city of Kitesh. Okay. Yeah, in the lost city of Kitesh, it's basically based on an actual old Russian myth about this old like floating city that then became sunk to the bottom of the lake, and
that's Atlantis. They can't have that.
But it's there was more to this. There was more details to the story about the Secret of Immortality. It was like an invisible city, but when it got raided, they defended themselves by sinking it.
Yeah.
That's 100% Atlantis. That's. Hey, I'm not mad at you, Donnie. I'm mad at Russia.
At Russia. But basically, what Crystal Dynamics said was they wanted to do like basically a myth about immortality, but they didn't want to do one that's been done over and over again. So I'm guessing like they didn't mention any examples, but I'm guessing like Fountain of Youth or the Holy Grail. That stuff's been done a lot, so they wanted to try one that people don't really know, and not a lot of people know old Russian myths, at least not here in North America. So
they'll know this one, yeah.
But
it's like you would expect that from like a Chinese knockoff, like, oh, here's your DVDs, here's your toys, here's your myths. But Russia, I expect better from.
But
Matt Lantis.
Well, for the game, Matt Lantis. For the game itself, like they're gonna try a heavier focus on a lot of the hunting and survival aspects. And stuff related to that they've shown is really cool. Like they have a new weather and time system that affects where and when certain animals will show up for you to hunt. And the animals tie in closely with the upgrade system of the game. So you learn to hunt them to maybe upgrade, get better bow, get stuff, and like learn their routines. This also mixes with like the new engines and technology they've come up for like the snow systems. They really want the snow to feel immersive, like it's real snow, like when you track through it and traverse through it. So there'll be you can track animals by they leave prints, but the prints don't stay there forever. The snow covers them. You have to trudge the snow and like dig yourself trenches and stuff, but that can get covered too. So they're trying to make the environment itself extremely interactive because you're going to be spending most of your time in this like hub environment. They're going to, based on the last one, as they said in the interview, really double down on the Metroidvania elements of the game, where you have this hub where you explore in certain areas you can't traverse to really without certain upgrades, just like in Metroid and Castlevania, which they said they got a lot of inspiration from those old games because they really like that play style. And they're also taking a lot from the criticism and what people have said in their old game, and they're trying to revamp that, make it more, as they said, Lara style combat. So mix of better stealth elements, diving underwater to get past foes, or climbing through trees. So you can either decide you want to ignore combat or get a better leverage point to like kind of shift it into your focus. So it's not just
specifically diving underwater to hide is a Lara Croft element.
Well, they're saying more stealthy and not just that, it's not just run and gun. Like you can decide how you want to start combat.
I just think it's funny that they specifically listed that. Like, you know how Lara always does this thing? She's always diving underwater.
But
that Lara.
And also, if people are like, oh man, the snow of like Russia is going to get boring and everything, they do have an area in the game that they say is called like the Oasis, and it's like this mystical place where they didn't do too many details about it, but it kind of shows different weather and like environment there, so it won't get stale, and there will still be like a nice range of environments for Lara to explore in. All in all, like the stuff they showed and talked about it excites me and gets me hyped, and I haven't even fully played like the first Crystal Dynamics one. I have it, I still have to play it, but I like what I saw.
I liked the first one. My problem with it, I felt that it was way too linear. For a game, like, yes, Lord, like Tomb Raider is a linear title for the most part. Like, those games, like, pretty much have been.
Yeah.
But for what they went with the reboot, like, I felt like it didn't want to be a linear game, but it was, like, super, like, well, it is. So,
yeah,
all the secrets in the game were, like, not really secrets. It was like, oh, well, like, there's a secret cave here. It's right there. Like, right to your left. Like,
they talked about
near
that
it, it'll
too.
Go like, bong.
They talked about that a little, too, with, like, the hidden tombs, and they're really trying to push and add more of them and add ways to, like, have that affect people's playstyle and have better secrets for people to explore,
the secrets
basically.
didn't feel rewarding because they were just like, we're right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't like when they just, like, shoehorn secrets in and don't try to hide them. It's like a huge
they made it sound like they were trying to work on that because that's one of the criticisms. They talked about like adding more hidden tombs that are actually like hidden. So they especially through like the interview I saw, they're taking a lot of criticism and what people said about the last game, and they're really trying to focus on those systems and still incorporate them in the design that they wanted. Yeah. And all in all, it sounded really solid. Like I did like what I saw.
I'm excited to play it. I'm bummed that
also it looks pretty. It looks so pretty.
I'm bummed it's an Xbox One exclusive, but I have the system, so I'm gonna buy it.
I don't think I'll play it because of that. Not because of that, but I just don't have an Xbox One.
Rocker Wolf, your question about Nintendo having sold 9 million units worldwide. I think Nintendo's going to be fine because Nintendo has franchises like Zelda and Metroid and Mario, and not that I particularly think those franchises are like, yes, but everyone else does. So as long as they hold those franchises, I think they'll be a-okay. And once they start releasing those franchises, like once Zelda comes out, I think that system's going to do good. I don't think they're in the same. I don't think they're trying to compete with the big boys. They're just trying to get their paycheck.
Nintendo
and
wants
their handheld.
I was saying this earlier, Kyle. Nintendo wants to make toys. They don't want to make video games.
Yeah.
So,
and their handheld market alone really helps them.
Yeah.
I mean, their handheld market is it's not where it was.
It's still. I mean, it's still more than.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
They still control the handheld market, and they.
Yeah.
But they're slowly losing grasp of it, I would say.
Yeah.
A little. But
I think...
the question is to who? Like, not to Sony. Not to the Vita.
Just to like...
No. To
mobile.
To mobile tablet games.
But because of that, they're actually going to start their own mobile brand to counteract that, which they had been against heavily for ages. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to create our own Nintendo mobile thing. So they're trying to at least keep with the times, which is good.
Okay, I'm going to blast through this next article because it's not really that, like, big. Yeah, so during Monday's 2015 Technology, Internet, and Media Conference, that's a good name for things, Electronic Arts CFO Blake Jorgensen spoke about the next Titanfall game. While it remains officially unannounced, something Jorgensen specifically mentioned was he did say EA developer Respawn Entertainment will probably have another Titanfall game, and as expected, it could come to the PlayStation 4. Last year, it was only on the Xbox. It was Xbox only. In the future, we haven't announced it yet. We'll probably have another Titanfall game. It'll probably be a bigger footprint than just a single platform. I think that's a huge positive for us.
Yeah.
As someone who played a good amount of Titanfall when it first came out and then immediately fell right off the train, I could see Titanfall maybe doing well. They're not gonna change the game anymore. Like, I think people got burned out way too quickly off the first one. They made a lot of changes later on that I thought were really nice, but it was like too little, too late. Where they added modes where there were no Titans, it was just pilots.
Yeah.
See, now you say I say yay. Because that movement in that game was fluid as hell, and I would have loved to have played it with less Titans in the match, even though I really like the Titans. So I don't know. We'll know more, like, probably at E3, but Titanfall 2 coming in the future, and possibly to other systems.
Yeah. And just to reiterate what I said in chat, that article, Carbo Balloon, I think they were focusing just when they meant, like, heavier footprint than just the one console systems they were on.
Yes.
PC, this isn't always true, I know, but nowadays a lot with games like that, it's almost implied that, it's on PC.
And the consoles don't feel like they're competing with PC. So when they say exclusive to Xbox One, like they mean...
I think they just misspoke. They meant Microsoft.
Yeah.
Really. I think it was just a...
But consoles don't see PC as a competitor.
Right. We were just talking today about how we have no awkward pauses, and then...
I was debating if I wanted to just say what Biohazard said, because I agree with him, but moving on, and yes, I agree. Moving on, another website drops review scores today, or this week, or recently. It's Eurogamer, and actually, it is starting with today with their review of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. They're completely dropping scoring games out of 10 in place. They're going to be having one-line summaries for every review, and a new recommendation system whereby some, not all games, would be considered either recommended, essential, or avoid. And as a result, they'll no longer be listed on Metacritic as their review.
I just don't understand why...
I'm gonna post the full article in the chat just in case people want to
it's a good idea.
Because it's actually a really good read, and they make a lot of really good points. It's just really long, so we're not going to cover the whole article.
It's so specific to video games, but for some reason, video games like have this thing where it's like, no, they can't be rated they can't be given a score. It's like this hot button thing that people get really defensive about, despite the fact that we've been scoring entertainment, which is a subjective thing. Which is usually the art. We've been scoring entertainment. We've been rating art for literally thousands of years.
Thousands?
Yes, thousands of years.
What do you give the Mona Lisa out of 10?
It's a little derivative. I'll say 7.
That's a little.
7 smiles.
I give it a solid 5.
It's not in 10.
I hate that painting.
It's not an A, but it's a solid B+.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have Bluetooth.
Yeah, exactly. So what's the point? But even in recent going to recent modern media, like within the past 100 years, almost unequivocally, scores have been used to rate things. We've been rating movies with scores since movies started getting ratings, like points-wise.
Agreed, but I like this shift just because, like you said, we've been doing it for years, but because it's like a subjective thing, instead doing a review and just... I feel like people should know, like, numbers are... It's subjective, but I feel like removing the numbers reminds us more because it's like, oh, this is just my opinion instead of like, this is my opinion and here's a number. That's what it is.
I just don't understand why it's like so bad to be like, oh, if I gather these collective amount. Now, it's going to sound like I'm defending Metacritic. I'm not. The way they operate and the way companies use the Metacritic thing is like a way to incentivize employees. Bad. Not what I like. But the idea of like being like, oh, 5 sites gave this game a 9, like that means this game's probably pretty good. I don't understand what's so fundamentally bad about that. I don't understand why all these sites feel the need to be like, no, we're not going to give quick, easy scores. You're going to have to really read this article, make a solid, conscious thought about whether or not you want to buy this game. It's like, well, I just want to know if it was good or not. I just want to know if it's good or not. And then I can do all that other stuff on my own time. I don't have to...
I feel like what you just said is like the reason a lot of consumers just buy games blindly without like, they're like, oh, this game's got a 9, and then they buy it and they're like, oh, well, I don't like any of the elements of this game at all. Like, why'd they give it a 9?
Yeah.
So maybe they should read the review.
Like, and the other thing is a lot, like the scoring, we have out of 10, but the pieces people score it on and everything just shift from like site to site, review to review. Like,
yeah, that's true too.
And that makes it inconsistent. If everyone used the same scoring system,
I guess I don't understand why there's no uproar over movies getting rated with stars, which is the same 1 to 10 scale.
I mean, we talked
There's
about
no outrage about books getting it. There's no outrage about TV shows getting letter grades. There's no outrage about anything else having a solid, like, finite scoring system against which you can base other things and put it on a I didn't
know TV shows got a letter grade actually.
There's a few blogs I read, like AV Club is definitely one that they rate TV shows like A, B-,
That's
C+.
Fair. Oh yeah, and IGN does give a number score for each episode of each show they score, and I read those weekly actually.
It's not, I just don't get why it's, and even more so, it's like video games have such a huge... Video games are really, really... I'll make my point quickly and we can move on because I could literally talk a whole show about this. But video games and video game creators are so defensive about the concept of video games are subjective and what I like may not be what you like. Blah, blah, blah. And no other art form is nearly as like touchy and sensitive about the idea of getting a bad number next to something.
So I think we talked about this the other day where part of me thinks a lot of this is the time you spend with a game is a lot longer than a lot of the other media. Like, a game is a much more, like, I want to say I feel like it's such a pretentious thing to say.
It is.
It's a much more personal experience.
But it's true though. Because it's...
I don't understand. Books take a long time to read.
Okay,
Let's not
books
you're
solid on.
TV
but
shows?
Who reads
TV
now?
shows, you spend years with TV shows.
If you watch that, like, yes, like, seasons take a while to be released, but if you watch you could watch most TV shows the entire season in a day.
I'm not talking about, like, watching on Netflix. I'm talking about, like, shows that are on TV currently.
Yeah.
Like, you spend years. It's just, I don't get why video games and video game creators are just so... the argument of you spend a long time with it just doesn't hold any water to me. You spend a long time with a lot of stuff. You spend a long time in school and you get graded on that shit constantly.
And it's awful.
Yeah. But it gives you... Well, no, school's awful. Getting graded's not awful. But it gives you the whole point is that you have a metric against which to put... Like, this game is clearly better than this game. That's not an offensive statement. I don't understand why people have to take it personally and be like, well, just because you think it's a better game doesn't mean it's a better game. Maybe I think this is a better... It's like, well, I mean, sorry. Big Rig Truckers is worse than Last of Us. Fact.
Before we move on, because we have to
I'm gonna write a whole article about it. Don't worry. I got so many thoughts.
my problem with your statement before about like, if all these sites gave it a 9, then like, it's a good game. Like, go buy it. Like, if I give Evolve a 10, and someone's like, oh my god, that game got a 10, I'm gonna rush out and buy it. And they're like, wait, this doesn't have a single player? That 10 didn't say anything about no single player.
I mean,
like,
I'm not. First of all, I'm not talking about just reading one score and be like, "Well, decision made." I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, that's Metacritic, though. You go there.
I didn't. I specifically said I wasn't.
I know, but that's
supporting Metacritic.
But that's what a lot of consumers do, and sites taking their score off of Metacritic and like fans of that site, now they have to like really actually like go through the review and be like, oh, this is what the game is. No, that's being a smart. That's being a smart consumer.
Like, making the choice to do that is being a smart consumer. No. That's first of all, that's not why they're doing this. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
These companies are not like Eurogamer and Kotaku are not like, oh man, we really care about these people buying video games. I want them to read more about this video game. They want page hits. They want attention paid to them. They don't want people going to Metacritic to read their reviews. That's why they're coming off of Metacritic. Fact. That's actually not a fact. It's probably a fact.
That's a guessed fact.
I like more reviews that force people to actually read the review and understand what the game is, instead of scrolling to the bottom and be like, oh, they gave it a 8.5 and it says plus I like audios.
I don't see why that's bad and movies are fine and everything else is fine to do it, but video games are so sacred that we have to hold them up on this higher
because video games are just base.
I feel like
$60 purchases where that could last like hundreds of hours, where a movie is just like, oh, I spent $10 and it took 2 hours to get through.
I also just
I'm
want
not
to say
as upset that I just blew $10 on this.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that maybe there is an uproar from like people closer to the movie community about how they rate and everything, like with all that. I don't know. I'm
not super into movies. I do like movies, and I will say that nowhere have I seen anyone be like, wow, it is bullshit that movies get stars. Let me tell you what.
I see a lot of complaints when it comes to aggregation rating on like Rotten Tomatoes, though.
Aggregation is, Rotten Tomatoes is the Metacritic of movies.
Yeah,
aggregation is not what I'm supporting. I'm supporting the concept of being like, out of this score, I give this game this. There's nothing inherently offensive about being like, well, on a scale of worst to best, this is where I put that game.
Well, I hope your article on
review
systems has a score at the bottom, so I can just scroll to the bottom of it and be like, oh, this article is a 8.5.
Well, the article's going to be a 10. And Rocker Wolf said some of the reviews are bought and paid for, like Call of Duty, FIFA, and Assassin's Creed. This doesn't solve that. This solves that problem 0%. It just means that no one's going to skim the article that was paid for. They're instead going to have to read the whole thing to find out that it was paid for. So, again, no business in... so this is a blanket statement, and it's going to be immediately wrong on a whole, but no business has ever done anything because they care about people and they care about their money. They care about the people spending their money on them. So... Doing this and sending people to Eurogamer means more page hits for Eurogamer, means more ad revenue for Eurogamer, means more people going to Eurogamer and making them money. I would be shocked if it came out truthfully through some magic truthful can't tell a lie Wonder Woman lasso thing that this was purely for gamers so they would make better, more informed decisions. Now, that said, we've already gone 15 minutes over. Kyle, you have a sweet review to hit us with, right?
I do have a sweet review.
Speaking of things with scores.
So I'm going to talk a lot on this, and because I'm talking a lot, that means Donnie is not going to be talking a lot. So, Donnie, is there a way, like if you mute your mic, will it
I thought it was better.
No, any time.
Okay, I'll mute my mic. I'll mute it.
It's still going up. I have no idea. Donnie, come back.
I get blamed for nothing.
It's definitely you. It's 100%
I'm just muted.
You.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But we're going to try the review. Maybe, like, tap your computer every once in a while to...
Just constantly go,
Yeah. No, I will.
Yeah, any sound from you will instantly stops the fan sound. So, it's literally any sound you make. Okay, I'm going to play the trailer real quick, and then we're going to go into the review. Of course, the trailer's not playing. Why would the trailer?
Do, 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 do.
The eyes of the world have been glued to the city of Haran for the past 2 months, following the outbreak of a previously unknown pathogen.
It is not yet clear what has caused this gruesome affliction. The local government's Ministry of Defense erected a quarantine wall shortly after the outbreak.
The global relief effort's steady stream of supply drops has sustained what few survivors remain in the city. The Ministry of Defense believes more radical action should be taken to stem the tide of this virus.
The question is, are there still non-infected survivors in the city as the GRE maintains? And if so, will the ministry still go through with a stated plan to annihilate the city in an attempt to wipe out the Haran virus once and for all?
Whether by way of the virus or the ministry's proposed plan, one thing is certain. Haran's days are numbered.
Okay, that was just a little quick story intro to Dying Light.
The guy who wrote "Help" on the rooftop, is that because he's in Dying Light?
Yeah.
Wants to get out.
Turn it down just a smidge, because it seemed a little loud. Okay, so Dying Light came out. When did this come out?
A few weeks ago.
Yeah. We're gonna just jump right in because we're over time. So
yeah.
We're just gonna jump right into story. So, well, first off, because of Eurogamer, we are now doing a different review system. You'll notice soon when I start filtering in the scores. But this is our new triple threat non-denominational review system.
Tenders.
TTNDS. TTNDRS.
Yeah, Tenders.
Tenders.
That is copyright Frameloss Incorporated 2015.
Yes. So let's just get right into story. So you play as Crane, and you land in Haran, a fictional city. You're an undercover agent working for the GRE, the Global Relief Effort. When you land, you are immediately beaten up by some unknown forces, and then rescued by some even more unknown forces.
Cool.
You spend the game pretty much playing both sides of the coin. There are two factions that are living in this city, kind of like doing their own thing. They're at each other's throats. You're going back and forth between the two. And you're trying to get information for the GRE. Throughout the game, there are some predictable plot twists that you see coming from a mile away. Some of the characters are pretty interesting. A lot of them are not. Story I felt was pretty weak. What do you guys think?
But no, I'm also just making sure the mic doesn't go up. I haven't played it yet, so anything I say in argument is secondhand from multiple people I've talked with. But I know from the multiple people they were just hooked on the story, and they just kept telling me it was intense, and it just kept them going, and they could not wait.
See,
and it was
I felt the gameplay was intense, but I felt the story was not what was keeping me going.
Okay.
To me, the game felt like a watered-down version of Far Cry 3.
With zombies.
With zombies.
Wait.
So, what I mean by that is a lot of the big game set pieces, and you're going to hear me say set pieces a couple times. A lot of the big game set pieces, I instantly felt like I was back playing Far Cry 3. The setting made me feel like I was playing Far Cry 3 in an urban environment. There's alluring ladies in the game to try and twist your judgment to choose a side, much like Far Cry 3. I don't know what it was about it, but I really felt like I was playing Far Cry 3, which isn't a bad thing.
No,
I love Far Cry 3, but Far Cry 3's story was far better. There were just little things in this that made me think of Far Cry 3 constantly.
Yeah.
So that's not a huge knock on it, but I didn't feel like the story was that powerful. So what I'm giving this story is a 6, with that little asterisk that it just felt like Far Cry 3, unimaginative.
Okay.
It didn't really, like, I don't know, almost every twist that came in the game, you definitely see coming. Like, nothing was really like, oh, like, shocking to me. Like, at no point was I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like, you definitely know what's happening. It doesn't do a great job of hiding the plot twist too.
Yeah.
That being said, like, a 6 isn't a bad, like, it's above average. It's definitely playable. Like, it's not awful. But it just didn't do anything new for me. I didn't, like, I wouldn't tell people, like, oh, man, you gotta play this with the story.
Okay.
Gameplay. Let's talk about the gameplay's weaknesses first. Combat. The melee combat leaves a lot to be desired. It felt very much like its predecessor, Dead Island. It feels very clunky. But it's not like the worst thing ever. It just feels lazy, I guess is the word I want to look for. You can level up skills, but you're pretty much just going to be swinging. This is just for melee combat. You're pretty much just going to be swinging back and forth like a couple times, and that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Crafting. Crafting does not seem fully fleshed out. I found that I only need to really craft 2 or 3 things total for like ideal survival. Like I was making Molotov cocktails, I was making med kits, and I was making throwing stars. Very seldom. And sometimes I would craft new weapons. I felt the new weapons, you didn't get enough. Okay, Biohazard, let's slow down. There's you can craft new weapons. The weapons also have upgrade slots, which you can add enhancements to. From what I could find, I couldn't really build any enhancements, so I was going on the enhancements I found out in the world, and the amount of times you change weapons, I was running on fumes. Almost none of my weapons had enhancements on them because I had used them on previous like weapons. And then I'd upgrade, get a more powerful weapon, and be like, well, I don't have any enhancements left, so I'm pretty much shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Then there's also upgrades, which you can craft, which you can add, like, burning effects, fire effects, like toxic, and those get progressively better as you go through the game. And those you can craft by finding them.
Yeah.
But the actual weapon upgrades, you can't, that I know.
In one piece. Now I know how Brecken must have felt running at night.
I felt like a lot of the loot was kind of
Gotta report
useless.
to him and tell him I don't have any answers.
By the end of the game, I had 75 lockpicks.
Lying to everyone stinks, but I know the GRE is working for the greater good.
145 times 5 more lockpicks if I needed them. So like I was just collecting things at a point to just collect things. So I kind of gave up on just even like looting a lot of stuff because I was like, I don't need any material. Like my pockets are full. No, I picked everything I came in contact with. I just didn't break lockpicks. And so I just had pockets full of paper clips everywhere.
Useful.
Yeah. So those are the weaknesses. Strengths. The free running is awesome. The movement in this game feels so fluid, going from like rooftop to rooftop, jumping down to ledges. There's really cool like little things in the game where if you jump from like a high ledge and you land on like a wooden roof, you'll break through that roof like an action movie and just fall like onto like a couch that's like in that room or like just on debris, and then you have to fight your way like out of that situation.
You just decided.
That's cool.
The first couple times that happens, it's intense because you have the first time it happens, you have no idea it's gonna happen. You're just like, oh, I'm running away from this dude, and you just jump and then you just break through the roof, and it's really cool. I love stuff like that. The size of the world, I'm putting this in gameplay because the amount of exploring you can do in this is great. You'll be just running around rooftops, and then you'll see in an alley there's just an open window that you can just jump in and go into that building and just like explore and look around and loot. But there's a lot of buildings you can go into. There's a lot you can't go into, but they did what they could, and I feel like they did a really good job with the environment. You get a real sense of urgency in this game. When you start making too much noise and you're attracting more powerful zombies that actually sprint at you, you're in a situation that is a really tense moment. So I like the sense of urgency in the game that also provides. I also like the gunplay. I didn't think I was going to like it as much. I didn't think it was going to be as fleshed out. But you're not actually just fighting zombies. You're fighting both factions.
Yeah.
You're killing humans as well. And when you get into gunplay situations, it's really fun what you can do with the weapons. The shotgun is exceptionally
is so desperate he's ready to deal with the devil himself.
So I really like the gunplay in the game.
And since I'm supposed to determine whether or not Rice is the one who stole the GRE secret document,
it gets a big knock for me on the
opportunity.
melee because you're doing a lot of melee. And the crafting system also gets a big knock for me because it just seems like I'm picking up items for the sake of picking up items. There's no real need for it. Most of the stuff I would just sell, and then by the end of the game I had a giant bankroll with stuff like I didn't need to buy.
Electricity, building maintenance.
All right.
So it gets 2 knocks for me for that. And I feel like since those are big parts of the game,
what's the problem?
they got a little bit beefier of a
it's
knock.
good
and
news,
that's why I dropped
bad
that to a
news.
7.
The good news is that you restore the lights in the Cauldron district.
Sound.
The bad news
Voice
is that
acting
it blew
was
out the
decent
grid
enough.
near the overpass.
Nothing really stood out
It's
to me
blacker
as
than your
bad.
pants pocket over there.
So
The
you
few
need it
complaints
switched
I
back
have
on?
There are 2 substations.
doing a mission,
Flick, flick, you switch them on. The order doesn't
it'll
matter.
play like
then
a
you throw the
there'll be a
master
loading
in the
screen.
main
It'll have
station,
text at the bottom,
and it'll light
and your
up
main
like a
character will
Christmas
read
tree.
that text.
I think I can do it.
There's a lot of
course you can
times
do it.
where
Any
you'll be
runner
doing a
could do
mission
it.
but going through different
But there's
loading
a
screens.
catch. Shutting
Or
off
he'll
the
just say
lights
the
has
same
created
thing.
a little
And
black
it gets
patch
kind of
for
like
volatiles.
they could have put something else
Bunches of
there.
them are gathering
Yeah.
after
They could have had him
sundown.
say new things based on
So
what
I've
you were
rigged a
doing.
trap. It's already
They
in
do a
place,
pretty good job of it, but there are a
all
few
set to
parts
go.
where I was just like, come on, like
Now,
I've heard him say the same thing
If
3
you can
times
get in
now.
there
Really?
and restore the power
don't
after
know.
it's dark, we can fry a
The
whole
music
lot of
is
freaks
really good.
in one
It really
shot.
kicks up.
After dark, that's going to be a
like
lot
big
dicier.
set piece moments.
Sure.
Like the big story-driven
no one's
moments. The
volunteered for
music
this
is
job.
really there.
But I'm
The
thinking
ambient
maybe
sounds of
you're
the
a bit
zombies
tougher
at
than the
night
rest of these
are
guys.
phenomenal.
Just an impression.
I'm
Let's
gonna
just
turn
say
this
I'm here
down
to
a
help.
little bit more.
Really?
I'm doing a lot of talking. I really like the nighttime and the sounds the zombies make. You hear like every little like bing and like bong like of metal and stuff from people bumping into shit.
What about Bwang?
You hear boing. Boing is
Okay.
also
All right.
prominent.
Wang's my favorite.
Sound, I'm giving an 8. I feel like that's a good score for the sound. I feel like they did a good job with it. It's not the best I've heard. The voice acting could use a little bit of bump going up, but I'm not going to complain. Like an 8's a fine score. Graphics, I think the world is beautiful looking. When you're climbing at like the very top of like the highest peak you can get to in the map you're in, I think looking over the entire city is just gorgeous. The little details they have in like the running stuff, like you'll notice things that you can get to. It's really nice looking. I think character models though need some work. A couple of them feel like really janky looking. They don't look good.
Maybe they're just ugly people.
Character movement, yeah, I mean they could be. Character movement for some of the NPC characters is also really dumb. This doesn't go in AI, and I didn't mention this before in gameplay, but the AI is dumb as hell. You'll be running and you'll see a survivor and he's getting like mauled by a zombie. You'll run down, save him, he'll give you a reward. He'll turn right around and just run into a pack of zombies and be like, "Oh, well, you're gonna die, dude." Like,
well, that's because that was the goal the whole time. You
Yeah.
ruined his plan.
Yeah. Life is terrible there.
Yeah.
well, he pays me for saving him. Like, he's like, "Oh, thank God you
Yeah, because
saved me."
he wants you to go away.
Yeah, he's giving
Leave
you
me
the
alone,
rest
jerk.
of his
Yeah.
items in the world.
I've saved NPCs on rooftops where they'll immediately just turn around and fall off the building. Zombie AI, I want to say it's dumb, but zombies as a whole they should be dumb. They shouldn't be smart zombies. And when you're like running from building to building, the zombie will still try and walk at you and he'll just flop right off that building. So that's really fun to watch. This game got a big knock for the dumb water effect. I gave it, I have a minus when I put the score up for it. When your character doesn't wear glasses, anytime you're in the sewers or anytime your character went underwater, the screen gets this awful like water gloss over it that just blurs all your vision. That doesn't make sense at all, and it stays on the screen way too long. And I hate it so much.
I just want to give everyone a preview of the review if they didn't do that. This game has you go underwater, and there's no indication that you're even near water, and I hate it
No.
much.
This isn't going underwater.
This game has you be near water, and there's no indication. I hate it so much.
I hate that water effect. That was one. It stays on the screen way too long. Like, if it was just like, if you walked through water and your screen went like sploosh, and it had that effect, and then your character was like, blah, 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 and like it went away, I'd be completely okay with it. But
Plus
it lasts
for the
like 20 seconds at times, where you're just like, well, I'm just gonna stand still because I'm not gonna walk forward because there could be zombies there, and I'm just gonna bump into them. It's a really bad blurring effect, and I don't like it. Graphics are getting an 8. I still think that's a fair score.
I like that there's no example of this in the video or anything. Like, we're just taking your word. Like, trust me, it's awful.
Yeah, I don't have the video of it, but take my word.
My dog ate the video, but it's bad.
Biohazard, the zombie AI is great because zombies are stupid.
But that's the point.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to give them and say that they were programmed to be like dumb zombies.
Oh, here comes this now. They do a good job, you won't give them credit. They do a bad job, and you're like, boo!
Hold on. We're at fun, which is the most important category.
That's true. That's category number 1.
Fun.
Category number fun.
I love the night cycle in this game. When it starts getting dark, your character, like, people start calling you and be like, hey, like, it's getting close to nighttime. Sometimes there's a loudspeaker announcement that's like, to get to a safe house, it's going to be nighttime soon. When it starts getting really dark,
I like that the sun going down is not a good enough indication.
Yeah.
That it's getting dark.
So, I'm going to give it a knock because there is a point where I'm like, there's a point where it's not nighttime until your watch goes boop, 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 and it says nighttime. And it doesn't get any darker when that happens, but that's when the special infected zombies come out. But you do get that warning. It's a nice little warning. Like, you see your character's watch, and it beeps, I think, before nighttime, too. Like, it gives you a little bit of, like, hey, like, you got 5 minutes. Like, it's going to be nighttime. Get to a goddamn safe house.
It's a nice little warning. Gonna give it a knock.
Well, no, because it's like an instant, like, boop, boop, special zombies. The special nighttime infected, though, are, like, bone-chilling, intense, scary. When you see them, like, walking around and you see their little Metal Gear vision cones coming near you, you're doing everything you can to not make a sound. You can deal with these zombies in 2 ways. You can not make a sound, or you can have flares or any kind of UV light to shine at them. You have a flashlight that you can be like,
what? God.
Their skin is affected by UV light, and that'll make them run away temporarily, but it's only like a minor irritant. Like, they're still gonna be like, oh, now this dude pissed me off.
That sounds like this issue that some people have called having skin. Yeah. All skin is affected by UV light negatively. That's the dumbest thing in the game I've ever heard of. Other zombies are fine with flashlights, but these zombies, they'll get sunburned.
These zombies are also really hard to kill. I ran out of video, so I'm just gonna leave it like not moving, but I'm gonna keep the screen up.
I want to know who is in charge of like Tom, come up with a reason for these zombies to be allergic to light. He's like, UV rays. I've read about them on the internet.
Well,
just a dumb decision. I'm with you. I'm taking your side. I'm saying it's dumb.
No. I didn't say it was dumb.
Oh, I just assumed you were going to say it was dumb.
No. I like that there's very few ways to deal with them because it makes them an actual threat.
Well, I don't care. When very few ways is fine. It's the excuse of light.
It could have been a bunny rabbit. I don't care what the
light because UV rays.
When they see you, it's not just like, oh, one saw me, it's chasing me. They make lots of sound and alert others that you're there. So you have like a horde of like 4 or 5 that are just sprinting after you, and they can run faster than you.
So why would I ever go out at night?
Sometimes you get caught out there at night. Like sometimes you just can't make it back in time. You can sleep through the night. Like you can go to bed at a safe.
Oh my god.
At a safe house.
At a safe house.
Yeah, at a safe house.
Yeah.
Well, the safe houses are surrounded by UV lights, like they can't get in.
Of course. Because sunburns.
Yeah.
They're so terrifying to run from. Like, I don't even use the UV traps because I'm not paying attention to UV traps. They're faster than me. I have to hit every jump like pristine to get to that safe house. It makes those moments insanely fun. I'm giving fun a 10.
Oh.
I couldn't
that
have had.
Surprises
I
me.
couldn't.
But
have,
you had docks.
No. I docked. What did I dock?
I don't remember.
I docked the watch. That's not in my fun cycle. That's just a little.
Oh.
That's just a little. I noticed that like boop boop zombies. Like it's not like a gradual they're coming out. It's just a okay now they're here.
Yeah. Boop boop zombie.
Like they're on a very strict schedule.
Yeah. Well, it's time to clock in.
Yeah. They gotta make a living.
Ha ha ha.
I'm gonna throw that score up there because I gave it to it. Fun cycle 10. Couldn't have had. I didn't want to put this game down. I played like 2 hours on Saturday, and then I probably played like 16 hours on Sunday. I just could not stop playing this game.
So this game's an 8 overall to you then?
Yes.
All right.
This game gets an 8 overall. It gets a buy it. You should definitely play this game. I came into this game thinking that I was not going to enjoy it. For the first like 2 hours, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, you were telling us.
Yeah, I talked. I wouldn't say 2 hours, maybe like 1 hour. For the first like hour of the game, I was just like, man, this just feels like Dead Island. I really hated Dead Island. I don't want this to be Dead Island. Once I got into it, once I got into the swing of things, I started buying new weapons, making weapons that had like fire damage. I love fire damage on my weapons. Having a giant machete and just like chintzy makeshift little blowtorch on the end. It's just like, man, how many kids are gonna like Beavis and Butthead this and go home? I'm gonna touch the flamethrower and swing it.
Yep, me.
Hopefully all of them. Yeah, I'm gonna go do it.
Couldn't have been.
Let's go.
Couldn't have been more glad to be wrong about this title. I really like when games surprise me like this, and I came out of this loving it. I was sad when it ended, and I wish there. I mean, there's definitely more. I'm going to keep playing it because I didn't do a lot of side missions, because I wanted to beat it for the show. But there's a ton of side stuff to do. I still haven't done all of it. Running around the city is phenomenal. The second city, you're not in that long, and it's kind of upsetting because I like the second city more. But you can go back and keep doing missions there, so I really like it. I would definitely suggest anyone who can purchase this game to purchase it and play it because it is a ton of fun.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I am very proud of you.
Yeah, I like being wrong when it comes to how I feel about games. I really like when a game challenges my opinion on it, and it's like, nope, we're changing your mind today, sir.
I'm proud because it definitely felt when you were first talking about your first opinion like you were just going into it expecting it to be a Dead Island
I was
to be
expecting
bad.
it to be a bad game,
and that's why it's
that
like
first hour it felt like Dead Island, and I was like, this is going to be a bad game. I wish the melee combat was better. The melee combat felt cut and paste from Dead Island, and so I knocked it for that. I wish the story was better, but that still didn't really affect my overall fun with the game.
That's good job.
Yeah,
I give that review an 8.
I'm with Biohazard.
Well, you should buy
I'm
the
also
review.
stunned. It came at that. I was
not expecting it. Not at all.
I was really pleased with it.
Cool. Well, sorry we went late, guys. Sorry. Sorry for all the stuff at the beginning of the show that caused us to go late.
Yeah, which might have been me. We don't know.
So it was definitely someone.
It was
named
definitely
Donnie.
someone named
Donny.
But I mute and it gets worse, so I don't know.
I think it's your Skype.
Yeah.
Your Skype.
No.
Because when you leave the call, it's 100% okay.
Donnie, you have no idea how much. Like, not that I'm saying leave, but like it was so much nicer when you weren't on the phone call.
All right, so
Donnie, this
Frameloss
show's
could be
so
a two-person show.
Yeah.
I see.
I could like think and hear myself think. Ooh, what a world.
We'll have it figured out by next show, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why would you say that? Now we're not going to.
No, we have to now. That's the rule. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I know we ran late. and I'm sorry about that. But I thought the review went really well. Thank you guys for tuning in. CJ, do you have anything to say really quick? Make it short. Do the sum up version of your outro.
Excuse me. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. If you guys liked us, make sure to hit the heart button down there. Follow us on Twitch. You get notified every time we go live with the show. Also, click that link to hit us up on Facebook. Follow us there. Follow us on YouTube as well. You'll get videos every time we post them. There will be stuff that is not always streamed on YouTube that we will start uploading to, or streamed on Twitch that will start uploading to YouTube. You can check it out if you follow us there. It'll be YouTube exclusives. You can also go to our website at frameloss.com to check out our blog posts and any videos we do. Also, finally, we do have a link down there for the Patreon. If you guys enjoy what we do, we enjoy doing it. Any money you could donate to us to help us make the show better would be appreciated. Patreon is a monthly donation service as opposed to a one-time donation like Kickstarter. Basically just gives us a little bit of money every single month to help us fund the show, stuff like that. We'll get better equipment, better audio stuff. We won't have any problems with Donnys Skype, that kind of thing. So if you liked it, you thought it's worth it, feel free to head on over to the patreon.com or the Patreon link down there. The site is patreon.com/frameloss. Put whatever you can in. If that's nothing, fine. If that's something, even better. But we do appreciate you guys watching. We have a ton of fun doing this show. We hope you guys have fun watching it also.
That was the sum up version?
Damn.
No, there is no sum up version for it.
Oh, okay.
You can't.
Well, I said do the sum up version. I was like,
you can't do a sum up version of click all these links and please give us money.
Donnie,
that's as short as possible.
Thanks everyone for sticking with us and joining us. Remember, on top of what CJ said, just tell your friends, tell your family, tell strangers, tell everyone. If you like this, spread it around.
I'm 2 inches. We'll see you next week.
See you guys. Good night, good game.
Peace out.